This is SCCHS Grade 9 Floor Plan Shop Tour, and I'm going to show you all the things that you will need to put onto your floor plan so that you can do that project. So here we go. First thing we're going to look at is the safety stands. You're going to be using those safety stands when you lift a vehicle up with a floor jack. The safety stands are used to make sure that we don't get hurt, because we never trust the hydraulics on a hydraulic floor jack. So safety stands. The next thing we can see there, this is called a hydraulic transmission jack. A hydraulic transmission jack uses a liquid to lift this cylinder right here, and that cylinder will go up, and as the cylinder goes up we can remove some parts from a vehicle, usually ones that are from underneath, and we can lower them down. You can see behind this handle here there's the number 1,000. That means you can lift 1,000 pounds with this, and anyone can do it just by stepping on this pedal right here. Hydraulic transmission jack. Along with another hydraulic thing, this is a hydraulic chain jack. You would take this lever here and you'd move it up and down, and as you do that, this boom that sticks out here would rise up, just like that. That boom that rises up can lift heavy things, probably up to about 2,000 pounds that we can lift, and that's for engines or transmissions or other heavy things that we need to move around the shop that we can't do physically ourselves. On the theme of lifting, we want to look at this. This is called a two-post hoist. We call it a two-post hoist because there's two posts. A vehicle would be driven in this area, and as the vehicle drives in, then you would take these arms right here and you swing them in to a certain spot underneath the vehicle. You'd go to the control panel here, you'd press a button, and that lifts these up right over top of your head so that you can work on the vehicle, or maybe it's at waist height so you can take the wheels off, or whatever it's going to take. So that is a hydraulic, that is a two-post hoist. And yes, it is hydraulic. It uses hydraulics also. This is a four-post hoist, mostly because it's got 1, 2, 3, and one's hiding back here. There's another post over there. Though it's a four-post hoist. This one's a little different, that when this is in the air now, but when it's down on the ground, then you would drive the vehicle up the ramps and the vehicle would sit on there. It's got no arms, it just sits right on the ramps, and the whole ramps and vehicle and everything lift off the ground. So that's a four-post hoist. If we lift a vehicle with a floor jack, let's say, one of the things that we will need is a creeper. You have wheels on it here, a little pillow for your head, and you lay it underneath the vehicle and you can scoot underneath and do the work you need to do. Makes it a lot easier if you have to do that you're not just rolling around on the ground. And this has to do with tires. We have 4 different pieces of equipment that we use for tires. This is a tire changer. You can see a tire over here on the right hand side. This is the rim, and the rubber part is the tire. What we want to do is take the rubber part off of the steel part so that it looks like this one over here with it missing, just in case we need to fix it or we need to replace it or something like that. That's what this machine here does. This machine here is a tire changer. We have another type of tire changer also. You can see that we have a steel rim here. It normally have a tire all the way around it. And this also allows us to take the rubber part off of the steel part. So there's 2 tire changers. This one here is called a tire spreader, and you can see it's in the tire spreading situation right there. We use that if we have to look down inside there, and you can't see it here, but there's a light here that could shine down in there, and that allows us to put a patch on and repair that tire if it's needing repair. One more piece of tire equipment is this is tire balancer. We normally would attach a tire onto there on a rim, and then we lower this hood, and when we lower that hood, We press this button right here, and that makes it go fast and spins it up. And these little readings here tell us exactly what kind of weights we need to put on. If your tire is not balanced and you drive down the road, it will shake your car all over the place. Good. We need compressed air, and so that's what we have here. This is a air compressor. We have one for the school to supply compressed air outlets. That's this little thing right here to the school. But if that doesn't work, or if we need to go outside, then we have this little air compressor, and this will do a lot for us. It's very mobile. We fire this engine up here, and that engine will put compressed air wherever we need it. And I was talking about compressed air outlets. That's what this is. We either have them just sticking out of the wall, or we could have a hose sticking out of it too, and a little valve that'll close it. And so that's what they look like. You're looking for those if you're looking for compressed air outlets. And here we have a compressed air outlet with a hose. The outlet is right there attached to the hose, and this goes up to the wall and goes to an air compressor somewhere else in the shop. This is our oil catcher. Picture this truck pulling onto this hoist, and we lift it up really high, and we roll this oil catcher underneath. Anytime we need to change the oil drains into this funnel right here, and then once we're done with that, we roll this back out from underneath the vehicle, lower the vehicle, and fill it back full with oil. So this is the oil changer. Oil catcher, sorry. Speaking of oil, we occasionally have times where we are taking parts apart, or maybe we're changing the oil and we get a little spillage on the floor. If we get oil on the floor, these floors are very slippery when they have any kind of liquid on them, and we want to make sure we avoid accidents. So we have a wood chip container here, so we take these wood chips and we throw them on the floor, and that absorbs it. We scoop it up later, and then and it soaks it up, and we don't need to worry about slipping on it. This is a pressure washer. Very often we need to clean either the car on the outside or underneath off, so that we can have a clear understanding, a clear picture of where maybe something is leaking, or if it's too dirty, we don't want dirt and stuff falling onto the internal components of the car. That's what we can use a pressure washer for. This is a parts cleaner. A lot of the parts on the inside of the vehicle need to be cleaned spotless, and so that's what this component will do. We have engine organizers. An engine organizer takes all of the parts of an engine when we take it apart, and we have different organizers to hold different parts. This one is for valve train. Our pistons sit in this one. We got place for all our bolts. Cylinder head sits down here, and we should have some crankshafts and stuff hanging down from the inside there too. So that's our engine parts organizer. Now this part is called a brake lathe. A brake lathe is used to refinish metal parts of our brakes, both rotors and drums. If you look above you, when you're in the shop, you'll see these hoses hanging down. These are roof exhaust hoses. So your vehicle, when it's running and you want to make sure that the carbon monoxide inside, make sure we have enough ventilation, so you take these hoses and you pull them down, and they go over the exhaust pipes, the tailpipes of the vehicle, and you turn a pump on and you're good to go. And those are all the parts of the Swift Current Comprehensive Automotive Shop Floor Plan.